How's it going, everybody? It is Noobski94 and welcome to my Retribution Paladin PvP overview for patch 7.1. Now this video is going to be catered towards players that are seeking some general information on the Retribution Paladin. Maybe you're looking to reroll the class, maybe you just want some general information on how to fight against them. I'm going to be basically going over the general playstyle of the Paladin. I'm going to be dividing up the moves in sections so you guys have a well understanding on the way that the Paladin works. So to start things off, we're going to be talking about the mobility of the Paladin. So as our first mobility move, which is our primary mobility move, we have Divine Steed. Summons your holy mount to ride for 3 seconds, increasing movement speed by 100%, usable while indoors or in combat. So essentially this move is going to allow you to mount for 3 seconds. It has a 45-second recharge time, and if you would like, you could go ahead and go into your talent tree. In the level 90 talent tree, you can go to Cavalier, and it is going to allow you to have 2 charges of this. This means you could actually use this move 2 times in a row, and each charge will have a 45-second refresh time. Next, we have Blessing of Freedom. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, granting immunity to movement impairing effects for 8 seconds. This does not include any type of hard CCs, fears, stuns, etc. Any type of rooting, any type of slows. This is going to definitely have an effect for 8 seconds. Only has a 25-second cooldown, and you can also apply it to your party or raid members. So if you're in any type of arena or in raid battlegrounds, you can go ahead and apply it to your healer or anybody that actually needs this benefit. Now keep in mind, it is a magical effect, so shamans can purge this move, and so can mages steal this move. So you got to keep your eye open for that. And then lastly, we have Seal of Light. Now Seal of Light infuses yourself with holy energy, increasing movement speed by 20%, lasts 20 seconds per holy power spent. Now you can use this move anywhere between 1 and 5 holy power. Every single stack is going to increase the duration of this move by 20%, not the movement speed. You're always going to be stuck at 20% movement speed. Now, I don't see very many paladins using this right now in PvP. I don't think they have much of a problem with sticking onto enemies, and if they do need a gap closer, that's what the Divine Steed is for. Also, Seal of Light is also going to be consuming your holy power, which is going to be reducing your overall damage output. Yes, it does last a very long time if you do stack it up to 5 holy power, but because it is a talent and it's competing with Cavalier, which is going to double up your Divine Steed charges, I would definitely go with Cavalier over Seal of Light and over Divine Intervention. I'll be going over this one in a little bit when we talk about our defenses. So that's pretty much it for the mobility of the Paladin. I think it is actually not too powerful right now, but keep in mind, Paladins are absolutely ridiculously powerful right now, which is why they have a little bit lower mobility compared to most classes. Next, we're going to be looking at the defense of a Paladin, and the first defensive move we're going to be checking out is Flash of Light, a quick spell healing a friendly target for about 130,000 health. Now this move is decently expensive on mana. You can cast it about 5 times, maybe 6 times in a row before you're out of mana, and you can go ahead and do this to yourself or another friendly target. Now if you look into your Ashbringer talent tree, there is going to be a talent called Embrace of Light, and this is going to increase the healing done by Flash of Light by 15% per talent, up to a maximum 45% increase healing when you have the talent 3 out of 3. Next up, we got Blessing of Protection. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, protecting them from all physical attacks for 10 seconds. Cannot be used on targets with forbearance. Causes forbearance for 30 seconds. Blessing of Protection is absolutely wonderful for any type of defense against a melee target. For example, warriors and rogues. This is a very effective move, and the fact that you can place it on a party or a raid member makes it absolutely amazing. It can definitely change the fate of some situations. If you do have a healer and it's being bursted down, or you have a squishier target on your team like a balanced druid, Blessing of Protection is a wonderful move. It has a very long cooldown, a 5-minute cooldown, which could be reduced. Protector of the Ashen Blade is a talent on Ashbring and is going to reduce the cooldown of Blessing Protection by 10% per stack, which can go up to 30%. Then we have Shield of Vengeance. Creates a barrier of holy light that absorbs about 200,000 damage for 15 seconds. When the barrier is consumed, all damage absorbed is dealt as holy damage divided across all enemies within 8 yards. Now this is a lovely move. It's just simply a bubble, and as soon as it's consumed, as soon as the enemy destroys the bubble, it will deal all the damage it absorbed to all enemies around you. And I've actually critted like 300 Ks on players unexpectedly. It is actually a nice offensive / defensive combination. Great for popping if you are getting bursted. Now we do have Lay on Hands. I'm sure most of you guys remember what Lay on Hands is, and it heals a friendly target for the amount equal to your maximum health. Essentially, it's a full heal. You can use it on anybody or yourself, but it has a 10-minute cooldown. Therefore, you cannot use it in any type of rated battlegrounds or arena situations. So in world PvP, it's a nice move. Instant cast, full heal, not so bad. But of course, in arena and rated battlegrounds, we're not going to be thinking about this move too much because it is completely useless. Now lastly, we have Divine Shield. Protects you from all damage and spells for 8 seconds. Cannot be used if you have Forbearance. Causes Forbearance for 30 seconds. Everybody knows the Paladin bubble. It's an 8-second immunity to all damage of all forms, and since they did remove the Warrior's Shattering Throw and the Priest's Master spell, there is actually no way right now in the game for it to be removed. So for 8 seconds, you're guaranteed safe. It's basically 8 seconds of stress relief. Now they also change it so you do 100% of the damage you always do. All your abilities are usable. You could go ahead and attack anybody. So for 8 seconds, you have a choice. You can continue to DPS your target if you want to push him down and kill him, or you can go ahead and start free casting your Flash of Light on you or any friendly allies. Now looking at your talent tree, you have Divine Intervention. Now this will reduce the Divine Shield's cooldown by 50%. In addition, any attacks that would kill you instead reduces you to 20% of your maximum health and triggers Divine Shield. Cannot occur with Divine Shield is on cooldown or if Forbearance is active. Now this is a pretty nice talent because you never actually ever have to worry about applying your Divine Shield on yourself, and is also going to give you a 20% overall heal to your health. So that's the overall defense of the Paladin. I personally think it is mid-range. It's mid-range. It's very situational. Compared to my Druid and compared to my Enhancement Shaman, I find that those two classes, the Druid and the Enhancement Shaman, actually have superior defense over the Paladin. The Paladin has amazing offense, but his defense is kind of lacking. I mean, you do have Divine Shield, which is very nice. Your Flash of Light is going to be very hard because you have to cast it. It's going to be kind of tricky to use if you don't have Divine Shield up. And also your Shield of Vengeance is a 2-minute cooldown. You're only going to be using it once, and it is only about a 200,000 health bubble. Other than that, you're kind of stuck with just trying to deal as much damage as you possibly can, and you know, pop bubble when you do need bubble. That's about it. Now we're going to be taking a look at the CC of the Paladin. So first we're going to be looking at Hand of Hindrance. Hand of Hindrance is going to place a hand on the enemy target, reducing movement speed by 70% for 10 seconds, with only a 30-second cooldown and a 30-yard range. This is an amazing move. Reducing the target's movement speed by 70% for 10 seconds is ridiculous. It's going to allow you to stick on almost any target. And then lastly, we have Hammer of Justice. Simply stuns the target for 6 seconds. Now, Hands of Justice is a 1-minute cooldown, and it is a 10-yard range, but it is a super reliable move. At any point in time, you can simply stun the selected target for 6 whole seconds. Now, you can go ahead and enhance this stun. On your level 45 talent tree, your Fist of Justice is going to make it so your damage dealing abilities that spend holy power reduce the remaining cooldown of Hammer of Justice by 8 seconds. If you're really good at your rotation and you're sticking on targets in PvP, you're going to be able to actually knock down the Hammer of Justice cooldown by 50% even more. So you're looking at only around a 30-second cooldown on Hammer of Justice, depending on how well you can stick onto your target and depending on how quickly you can execute your rotation and spend holy power. Looking at your honor talents, you also have Jurisdiction. Increases the range of your Hammer of Justice ability by an additional 10 yards. So now you're looking at a 20-yard range on your Hammer of Justice. Now this is the only 2 crowd control effects that the Paladin has, and in my opinion, very, very powerful and very, very stable moves. You don't need to worry about a skill shot. You don't need to worry about any type of delay with the stun or anything like that. You don't need to worry about building combo points. It's at the fingertips. You can click a simple button and you've got a 6-second stun. Now lastly, we're going to be looking at the offense of the Paladin. So first we have Crusader Strike, and this is your filler move. This is going to be the move that you're going to be spamming whenever you possibly can. It is a melee ranged weapon strike that deals about 70,000 physical damage, and it has a maximum of 2 charges. Every single charge takes about 3 seconds to recharge, depending on your haste, and it is going to generate 1 holy power. Now in your talent tree, you can go ahead and amplify this move. The Fires of Justice reduces the cooldown of Crusader Strike by 1 second and gives it a 15% chance to reduce the cost of your next damaging or healing holy power ability by 1. Or you also have the option to convert this move into Zeal. Now this is strictly an AoE move. This is for PvE. You're not going to be worrying about this for really any type of situation in PvP. Now looking in your Ashbringer talent tree, one of your closer stats is Sharpened Edge, and this is going to increase the critical strike chance of Crusader Strike by an additional 18%. Next, we're going to be looking at Blade of Justice. This move has a 9-second cooldown, and it strikes the target with a Blade of Justice, dealing about 150,000 physical damage. This move will generate 2 holy power. Now looking at your talent tree, you can amplify this move with 2 different talents on your level 60 tier. You have Virtue's Blade. Blade of Justice critical strike now does 3 times normal damage instead of 2 times normal damage, which is going to make your crits absolutely unreal. And then you have Blade of Wrath. Your auto attacks have a chance to reset the cooldown of Blade of Justice. Blade of Wrath is going to be used for players that are looking to have an increased rate of holy power generation. If you can stick onto your target and do a lot of auto attacks on your target, you're going to be getting your Blade of Wrath refreshed fairly often. So it has a little bit of a less burst capability, but it definitely has more overall holy power generation. It's going to allow you to go ahead and hit your holy spending moves more frequently. Next, we have Judgment. Now, this is a pretty interesting move because the Retribution Paladin's mastery is solely based off of increasing this move's effectiveness. So your mastery is Divine Judgment, and it increases the damage done by 50% and causes Judgment to increase the damage taken from your holy power spenders by an additional 25% for 8 seconds. Your mastery is going to change the overall damage of Judgment, and it is also going to change the amount of holy damage the target takes from your holy damage spenders by an additional amount according to the mastery. Next, we have Wake of Ash, which is your artifact weapon's active. Lashes out with the Ashbringer, dealing 135,000 radiant damage to all enemies within 12 yards in front of you. So it's kind of like a cone move that you can strike all enemies in front of you. It's an AoE. Then it reduces their movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. Demon and undead enemies are stunned for 6 seconds if struck by Wake of Ashes. Now that last part is a little bit more effective in PvE situations, but if you are fighting a Death Knight or if you are fighting a Warlock and you manage to hit their pets in the radius, you're gonna actually stun them for 6 seconds. So this is actually a nice move. Now, Wake of Ashes has an absolutely insane talent in the Ashbringer talent tree. The talent actually pretty much doubles the effectiveness of this move. It's called Ashes to Ashes. Wake of Ashes also generates 5 holy power. It completely maxes out your holy power, and it causes all enemies hit to burn for an additional 140,000 radiant damage over 6 seconds. So it doubles up the damage as a dot for 6 seconds after, and it also generates an entire 5 holy power. Next, we have an offensive move on the talent tree. It's on your level 75 talent tree, and it's called Justicator's Vengeance. It costs 5 holy power, it's melee range, and it's a weapon strike that deals about 170,000 holy damage and restores health equal to the damage done. Deals 100% additional damage and healing when used against stunned target. Only really usable against a target that is stunned, or only usable if you have Divine Purpose active, because Divine Purpose, it makes it so your holy power spending abilities has a 20% chance to make your next holy spender ability absolutely free. So this goes hand in hand with Divine Purpose. Justicator's Vengeance is the primary chosen talent right now, simply because it has really great burst capabilities. It works really great with Wake of Ashes. If you do have the talent on, you can instantly generate 5 holy power and use Justicator's Vengeance, following up with a stun. Great for nuking down healers, great for self-defense, primarily the move that you'd want to choose right now. Eye for an Eye is also a very good option if you are fighting against a melee combination, like a hunter and a warrior, or a warrior and a rogue combination, something like that. If you're doing 2s, anybody with physical damage is going to be a very effective move. Next, we have our 2 holy spender moves. So we have Templar's Verdict, a powerful weapon strike that deals 130,000 holy damage, and it's going to cost you 3 holy power. Divine Storm is going to be a PvE AoE damaging move, primarily used if you want. You can try getting people out of stealth with it. You need 3 holy power anyways to use it, so you're almost never going to be using this move in any PvP situation. You're going to be focusing on Templar's Verdict for your holy spender move, or Justicator's Vengeance. Those are the 2 moves that you're going to be using most of your holy power energy on. Next, we have Avenging Wrath, which is going to increase all damage and healing you do by an additional 35%. Now, the base time is 20 seconds, but if you go into your Ashbringer talent tree and you get Wrath of the Ashbringer, is going to increase the duration of Avenging Wrath by an additional 2.5 seconds per stack for a maximum of 3 stacks. So if you do have this talent maxed out, you're going to be getting an additional 7.5 seconds of Avenging Wrath time. Then lastly, we have Holy Wrath. This move is an instant cast move. It has a 3-minute cooldown and is going to deal 200% of your missing health as holy damage, up to 4 nearby enemies, up to 120% of your maximum health. That's the maximum amount of damage it can do. And then it deals 35% of missing health against enemy players. Now, this move went through a pretty massive nerf in patch 7.1. It used to deal heal 50% of your missing health to nearby enemy players. So if you're almost dead, you could use this and knock off almost half the enemy's health, which is an amazing burst. It is now only 35% of the player's missing health, so it went through a 15% damage nerf. Personally, I would go for Divine Purpose now, because your holy power spending abilities have a 20% chance to make your next holy spending ability completely free. This move is going to work amazingly with Justicator's Vengeance, because it's a 5 holy power spending move instead of a 3 holy power spending move like Templar's Verdict. It is going to be very, very effective, and then Divine Purpose can chain off of itself. So you could hit a target with Justicator's Vengeance, and it may even proc a second free cast or even a third free cast. 3 Justicator's Vengeance on a stun target deals over 1 million damage, and it is an amazing burst. Very lucky, very situational burst, but it can be a complete game changer, and it could actually go ahead and get you to push healers down. So that is my overview of the Retribution Paladin. Overall, I really love this class because it feels like a very slow but hefty class. When you're going to be using moves, you're not going to be hitting a whole bunch of moves very fast. You don't have a lot of spending to do on your resource. Holy Power takes a while to generate, and then you go ahead and strike the enemy with a hard hit. You're going to be looking at slower global cooldowns. You're going to be wanting to hit every single move in the proper time, in the proper order, but the sustained damage that a Retribution Paladin has is absolutely ridiculous. You're an absolute wrecking ball right now. Now, Retribution Paladins are very powerful, but actually have a very small kit. If you look down on my talent tree, you know, I got Seal of Light, I don't use. I got Lay on Hands, I can't use in PvP. Eye for an Eye is situational. Holy Wrath, I don't use anymore in PvP, you know? I don't really use Divine Storm either. I mean, you have very limited moves, but these moves are very, very powerful. So they're very situational and very powerful. If you're going to use Hammer of Justice, instant cast, range stun, 6-second stun, very powerful. Avenging Wrath, you 35% increased damage for your 20 seconds. This is your only actual damage increasing move. You pop this once. It's a one-time shot, 2-minute cooldown, and this is all you're going to get in terms of damage increasing as the Paladin. And you got to use it correctly. You don't need to worry about stacking up a whole bunch of different offensives. So thanks a lot for watching my overview, guys. I hope you got the information you needed. Maybe it helped you make the choice if you want to reroll this class or not. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you do want to see more WoW or League of Legends videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.